Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Presenters May. Uh, Today we have Narudol from Bangkok, and he is the president of TERA. Uh, I heard that many people know him by the name Nathan. And first, I'd like to have Nathan introduce himself very briefly for us. Nathan, please.
Thank you, Noriko. And thank you, Extensive Reading Special Interest Group of Chao. I'm not going to say the full name. I'm pretty sure I will get it wrong, but thank you so much for inviting me. I'm representing Thailand Extensive Reading Association. I just take a peek at the list of the participants. I have some of my committee with me here as well. I have been involved in extensive reading in Thailand for a few years. I am also a lecturer at a university at the Faculty of Education. So I will be sharing some of what I have done, especially with my education students, undergraduate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll be starting the presentation. And if any of the audiences have questions, you can directly ask Nathan, or you can write it in the chat, and Nathan will answer you later. So, everyone ready? Let's get started. So,
Oh,
Nathan, please start your presentation.
all right. I would appreciate any, sharing any question. I cannot promise that I will be able to answer all of them, but you can ask any question at all. Okay. So the topic that I am sharing with you guys this evening is from one class to a campus of readers. I'm going to take you through the journey of how I've been involved in extensive reading. So a few years back, I was introduced to extensive reading group, and we were setting up the association. It was not yet registered. I have not heard of extensive reading almost 6 years back. Okay, I have heard of reading. Okay, I enjoy reading, but not graded readers, not extensive reading. And I became the treasurer for the for TERA. And then the very first year, as we organized webinars, invited speakers. I learned along the way working for the association what extensive reading is. And I think it was the second year that TERA organized the very first ever nationwide online extensive reading competition, and it was a blast. I think there were more than 200 high schoolers all around Thailand wanting to join the program. And I think the total number of words read within 1 month was more than 6 million. So at that point, we saw that, once we really motivate our readers, they can really, really read. In Thailand, there is this a joke, a really not very good one for the reading status in Thailand. If you talk to Thai people, they would say that Thai people don't read more than 7 lines. Okay, and we proved that wrong from that competition because they read a whole lot, and we really starting to enjoy the impact from what we do from that project. Um, okay. And now I'm taking you to my next slide. Are you looking at my second slide, right? Okay. So once I've been introduced to extensive reading, I think it was the year 2021, we were just back to almost normal from COVID-19. Like COVID-19 hit really, really hard. So I also joined the Faculty of Education at Kasetsart University, one of the biggest university in Bangkok. The program was very new, and I was very new to extensive reading. So we had zero book for my division. So my way out was to try to do it online. And I was lucky to be in charge of a class called Language and Culture for Teachers. So basically, in this class, we help the students who will eventually this is the first year, the freshmen. We'll help them with the use of language, both Thai and English. So I basically teach the second half of the class, and we try to make English communicative for the education students, and they are not, most of them are not English major. So that was a perfect lab for me to, to experiment extensive reading in this class and make it fun and make it interactive. So what I did was, before that, I taught for Chulalongkorn University Language Institutes, and they already were using X reading and online library. I think you all know it. I didn't know X reading. Okay. So I was a part-timer at a different university. Now I have become a full-timer at Kasetsart University, and I got the idea from that I assigned 20 words for my students to read within one semester, which is about 4 months in Thailand. And I asked my students to do a weekly reflection, on the books that they read. Actually, I got a lot of help from my vice chair. She's here. I think we will be discussing with my TERA vice chair later on. Okay, so a weekly journal with a goal of 20,000 words per semester. Not all of them achieve the goal, but also a lot of them exceed the goal. Especially for non-English major in Thailand, they would come up and talk to me and really ask if I really wanted them to read English books, even online. Okay, they did not think that they could achieve it. Okay, so as you all know that extensive reading, we want them to read something that they really understand. So it was easy enough for them. So once they finished the first book, they have gained more confidence, and they kept reading and reading. Okay, and they kept coming back to me asking if it's okay to read, like, younger learner graded readers, and it was totally fine as long as they kept reading. So I was really happy that most of them read and achieved the goal. And by the fourth year, I was doing research on one of the non-English major class, and I wanted to set an ambitious goal of 100,000 words within 10 weeks. I did not expect that any of my students would achieve. Surprisingly, two of them did. Okay, and these two were more of a passive learner in the class. They didn't really talk or raise their hand, answer questions that much. But after the 10 weeks, one of them came up to me and thanked that we had this program, and the student said that now I'm gonna refer to the reader as they, but it's one person. Okay? I don't want to expose the gender. So they said that because of this program of extensive reading, now a new goal has been set. Okay, the student want to continue reading. Okay, up until graduation. I promised them that if they kept reading, their English would get better and better. Now, they wanted to continue their study somewhere abroad and get really good score on IELTS or TOEFL, things like that. And it was mentioned that this was not the goal, not before the extensive reading program that they did in my class. Okay. So first I used VR Central, and then once I got the fund and the grants, I move on to X rating, which helped me. It makes it easier for the teacher to track what the student are reading or have read. Okay, let me move to the next slide. Okay, so by within 4 years, each year roughly I would have around 60 students, and then with 20,000 words goal, except for the last semester. So at this point, for about 4 years, I have helped the students, or the program has helped the students to have read more than 4.5 million words. Okay. And the better part is, like I mentioned, it inspired them to set better goal in other things that they do as well. They come back to me and said that they went on to other courses, and then the courses asked them to set some goal in their life and try to achieve it. It's very nice to know that some of the students who did not reach the goal of 20,000 words or the 100,000 words in extensive reading in my class, they went on to other courses and they came back to reading and actually and eventually reached the goal. Okay. Apart from that, those were the sharing from the non-English major. But how about my own English major in ELT, English language teaching? They have been introduced to extensive reading, and for the fourth year, the last year of their undergrad, all of them would go to do the teaching training at school. So they are practicing to become a real teacher. And almost all the time, I would get the question of, "Hey, teacher, how to teach reading?" I don't know if you have that question from your student if you are in education, but for me, this is a question I get a lot. So reading in Thailand, especially for English language, as the status is a foreign language. Okay, most of the time in English classes, we teach students how to read, not teaching them reading. So it's a different thing. A lot of students still struggle with trying to make sense or understand what they are reading. So, and in that sense, it's really hard to take them, to the next level of how to, you be more critical or reading literacy and to apply this knowledge from the reading. So there are two of the example that I have put here. The other one, the first one on the left of the screen, one of my pre-service teachers had problems. The student did not pay any attention to her reading class at all. Okay, so now we look at the text that the student had to read, and they were quite difficult, medical, scientific terminologies, things like that. So we discussed and we came up with simplified text, meaning we still kept all the note words or the glossary of the vocabulary that the student needs to learn, but we use AI to make all the text much easier. So after that, the students really enjoy reading. The teacher enjoy teaching again because class attention goes back to what is supposed to be attention. The attention supposed to be paid on. So we really get to get the student to read and really get something out of those articles, out of those of their reading. The other example is that this is a younger student. They could not really understand and could not really retain the vocabulary that they have learned from classes. So the other student of mine from English language teaching used board game, but his board game has quite a few of readings, like quest cards. Like you pick up a card and then you have to read the card and do something that the card asks you to do before you can move on the board game. And also along the way, the game had what we call pronunciation doctor. So one of the more fluent student from each group will be trained outside of classroom before the classes, and they will help that student with the pronunciation. Again, there is a record and all the competition between groups and all that. So they really enjoy. I mean, everyone was busy trying to learn English and competing and learning from their peers and collecting points or at the same time? Okay, how am I doing with the time? I'm sorry. I know I have 20 minutes. I'm wrapping up now. Okay, so from those early classes with my non-English major, from 20,000 words per semester up to an ambitious goal of 100,000 for 4 years. At this time, um, we are hosting the very first ever. I'm not sure what happened with my slide, but you will make sense from what I will be presenting. So this is the very first time that my university, one of the biggest, we have 4 campuses. We accept like 20,000 new students each year with the 4 campus combined. But this is the very first time that we have something on the extensive reading. We call it competition. The project is called KU Read, or Reading English Achievement District. Okay. From what I have done at my Faculty of Education, the university has learned about it and interested to do it at the university level, and uh, we set up a minimal goal of at least 5,000 words per student, and each team of 5 readers are competing both as a team and also as an individual. Okay, and I could say that out of maybe 10% of the competitors, of the reader competitors, are from Faculty of Education, because they have heard or they have done extensive reading with the program that I have offered. So now the competition is a month, but by day 18, okay, 100 readers of my university student have already read more than 10 million words. 10 million words, and everybody is asking about it. And we also get help, from another two of the committees from TERA to help reflect this halfway through the competition, and the students are really enjoying the reading. Some of them actually text and mention that there are some series of the readers that they wish there were more of them, because they really enjoy reading it. So I think that's a us as ER practitioner, I think we get the idea that is really, really nice. Okay, I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Okay, maybe it's because of my iPad. So I'm gonna jump to one of the last ones, I think, of my slide. Okay, so with that, with the help and collaboration with my lovely, very active Thailand Executive Reading Association members and committee, we will be hosting the very first ever World Congress in Thailand. Okay, the logo you see here, is designed by one of our committees, and it hope it will be act as a port key, bringing you to us in June of 2027 at Chulalongkorn University Faculty of Education. The main conference will be from June 11 to the 13th. But we also have pre-conference on the 10th, and an excursion that you can enjoy on the 14th as well. And the call for paper will be open July 1st. So if you are planning to come to the irresistible city of Angel, Bangkok, you have more than a month, or you have exactly 1 month, okay, before the call for paper starts. All right, so I'm sorry for the slide. It seems like everything shifts on my iPad. So what have I shared, or what I hope that we have shared, or will be sharing more, is that extensive reading, especially in Thai context. Okay, even though it's about English language, but it also works with non-English major student, and then I've done it, and I want everyone to try it too. And with the help of an online library such as X Reading, it makes it easier for the teacher to monitor, to motivate your students. It also make it a little more motivating with the student, seeing their tracks and their goals, and make their goal more visible. Once they see it visible and achievable, then they would probably do it. Okay. And for my part, I think it's very special that I am sharing extensive reading and how to teach reading with extensive reading integrated into my teaching class, so that I will hopefully each year have at least 30 teachers who will go out there and know how to introduce extensive reading to more of their endless number of students in school, hopefully not only in Thailand but everywhere they go and then teach. So I purposefully choose this sunflower because it's really bright and the seeds are really small, but it's spread all over, and it's just so nice to see Thai students are really reading again, not just trying how to read, but really enjoy reading. All right, so I believe that is the end of my talk. Okay, and please follow us on our Facebook. If you just key in Thailand Extensive Reading Association, I think you will see a whole lot of activities that we have done, and we have quite a few activities lined up in the near future as well. And of course, please prepare your paper or your passport and come join us for Extensive Reading World Congress in 2027. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we'd like to have some questions from the participants. Anyone? May I start? You said that Thai people don't really read. Um, is there some kind of like cultural background for that, or is it just in general that people don't really read?
I, I think Thai people tend to enjoy talking
Talking.
more. Think we talk a lot. Okay,
Okay.
reading is not really it's not really into our culture. I was in Singapore for a training for 3 weeks last month, and I observed that there are libraries all over Singapore, and it
Mm.
already says something about reading culture in the country. In Thailand, I have talked to a lot of sectors that I meet, that we have community libraries, we have faculty libraries. The only thing we don't have is that we don't have readers in those libraries. We have books, we have libraries. So I think extensive reading, extensive listening, or maybe some other things that will help motivate and make those books being picked up and read again would be really,
Mm.
really nice. That is one of the reasons why I'm here. I would like to hear from all of you here as well. If you have this same scenario, then I would like to hear from you how to make it.
Mm. Is there some kind of like a book start program in Thailand? Because like in some parts of Japan, when your child becomes like 5 years old, the local government gives you a gift of two books and invite moms to come to the public library to get some books in the house and also for the moms to familiarize their children with books. Is there any kind of background to that? Because in Japan, it's like it's normal for kids who read a lot when they are younger would go on to reading English books later in their life. So I was just wondering if there's some kind of
Not that
book
I
store
have
thing.
heard of, and
Mm,
this is solely from my own perception. Okay, if
mm.
if you forget something, and I mean if you leave something in the public in Thailand, and if it's a book, most likely it will stay there. No one, no
Oh.
one will no one will pick it up. Okay, that's sad, but that's my perception. I don't think we have that. But what I would like it to happen. I mean, it happens in my family is that my wife and I, we read to our child a whole lot in both Thai and English language. And I think moments like this is very special. It's because it start really young, and it's probably lullaby bedtime stories, probably one of the best moment in your life. Okay, and when you learn language and other above language level knowledge of information at something similar moment like this, it can happen at school as well. I hope
Mm.
that it will happen more. But what I also do know is that not all children are privileged with families that do can afford books or can afford the
Mm.
time to do so. So one of the things that I hope that segments in Thailand. I mean, I've been talking to a lot of sectors that I meet, is that we are. I mean, in most areas of the world, we are having the aging community, aging society, and we have young kids that their parents are busy working, to earn the living. I hope that and we have library and we have books. So I want to put these three puzzle together somehow in the future if possible. Okay, we have the elderly community who will probably more than happy to have company companion read
Mm.
books from library that are empty to children who don't have parents who would have time to read for them. So
Mm.
if you can help us, Tierra, make this happen, please let us know.
Great, thank you. Okay, Paul, you have a question.
Hey Nathan, excuse me. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting talk, and I love your passion for reading, and it seems like you're doing a great job getting your students to read as well. I was just wondering, with your new students coming into your programs, if you give them any explicit guidance about selecting level appropriate reading material. What I mean is, do you give them sort of advice on how to choose a suitable level for their extensive reading at the beginning?
Yeah, I always have a session where I introduce extensive reading for them, and learning from working with the association, we learn the five finger rules, or the I+1 thing. For my context, even the I+1 sometimes the student will feel like, it's a +1. So I would sometimes, if they feel like the I+1 is too challenging for them, I would just say that, okay, you can go with the I-1. It's fine. Okay, just
Sorry,
go.
Nathan. I'm familiar with the five finger rule. What's the
Yeah.
I+1 rule? I'm not familiar with that.
The Vygotsky zone or proximal development, like you need to read something a little above your level so that it's challenging enough so that you learn something new. But for my context, if, even though you want them to do the I+1, sometimes you need to tell them that, hey, you can do the I-1. Why not? And then if it's too easy, you get bored, then you go up to the next level, and then when you find it more too challenging again, then go back down and find readers that you feel comfortable reading with.
Do you give them any extensive reading time during class, or is it all out of class?
Unfortunately, the class is very short, and I'm still responsible to teach the content. It's a class that is taught throughout the faculty, so there are things that I need to get done. So the extensive reading for my undergrad class needs to be done outside of classroom. But I point out that it takes you only like 15 minutes a day and just 2 hours a week maximum to reach 20,000 words. So make it achievable. So if they feel like it's achievable, then they would probably do it. Even though
Thank you. Yeah.
even though most of them cramp the reading at the end, which doesn't really um, correspond to what we want to see happen. But we encourage them once in a while, and the weekly reflection helps a lot. then before the beginning of class, then I will may talk about how their reading situation is, and it helps them kind of get started if they have not, or drive them further if they have read something. Thanks,
Great,
Paul.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Yep.
Sandra?
Do all undergraduate students take part in an extensive reading program, or is it just the first years, just the second years? How does that work within the university?
Unfortunately for me, it's the first year course. Yeah. So it's only introduced to them if they get to take this course, and having me as their lecturer. I try to introduce this to the other teachers. It's not always the case that they would agree to take extra time and extra work to introduce this in their class.
So you're the only teacher currently using extensive reading as part of their program.
Unfortunately, but imagine if it's only me and it's 4.5 million words within 4 years, that's about a million words a year, right? If all the teachers are doing it, then we have more and more word read.
Absolutely. Keep up the enthusiasm, and maybe they'll see that they can do it too.
Okay. And Rob Waring said that he and Paul are flying soon. All right. Get
They're
some
on
reading
the
done
plane.
on flight.
Yeah,
Paul?
can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, just to say we're Paul. Sorry, we can't be there because we're about to fly to Osaka. So can you hold on for 2 hours, stay there, and we'll come and join you again.
You should get some reading done within 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my book. We did catch some of your presentation, Nathan. Well done. Thanks. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Have a good flight. Okay. I have a few of my TERA committee right here. Anything you would like to share with us, guys?
Everyone's quiet.
Yeah, everyone's quiet. Please join us.
I know at least one. My vice chair has been doing extensive reading at her university as well.
Yes, and she presented last week.
Oh, okay, she did.
In Nagoya.
All right. Oh, yeah. She did. Yes.
Well, I had another question for you, which was when you have your KU reading competition, do you read as well?
Do I read as well?
Yeah, are you taking part in the competition as well? Are you reading alongside the kids?
Actually not this time round. I think I barely finished one book, but before this, we were lucky. I met some of the Mongolia Extensive Reading Association committee, and Mongolia is big in the reading marathon, right?
Yeah.
So they have given us a few places for the competition. I was one of them. So
great.
I read more with the Mongolia Extensive Reading Association, but not my own KU read, unfortunately. But that's good. And that's remind me of another idea that I want to see happen. Actually, I talk about this in Sapporo, that whenever possible, that it would be really nice to have readers from different countries in one team and do the reading marathon.
Yeah.
And build up the reading community internationally. That would be really nice.
Yeah, the Mongolian reading marathon is very inspiring. They just
sensational.
Yeah, it's really quite amazing.
It is. So yeah, to answer to your question, barely finished one book.
Well, there's always next time.
Right. But I achieved the marathon goal for the Mongolia extensive reading though.
For the competition, how do you like publicized? And is there some kind of prize or anything for the top readers?
Yeah, there is a big money prize.
Oh,
Yeah, and the kids love it. I mean, my own ELT students said that, they wouldn't do anything if if they if they had more time, they would just continue reading and reading because they want the money go. But like I said, along the way, some of them come back and say that, hey, I really enjoy this series of the readers. So I think it's a good start to have something really motivating for my classes. I think I showed on the slide that it was 10% assessment. So that was what motivated them. But for KU Read, they are reading because of the prize money, and they can win as a team, and also they can win as an individual if they are the top three individual with the most with the words most read. Then they can win another prize. And most likely, from what we have done at the TERA, most likely the individual winner would probably come from one of the winning teams. Yeah, so they are hoping that it will win 2 money prizes.
wow.
Yeah.
Can I ask how much the money prize is?
I don't remember exactly, but I think the individual one, the team is somewhere between $250.
Oh,
Not bad.
that's
Yeah, not
pretty
bad.
good. Yeah, if someone
Yeah,
gave me that, I'd be happy too, especially as a student.
Yeah.
you read free books online. You don't have to pay, right?
How many people on a team?
I'm sorry.
How many people on your team?
Oh, five readers in a team. Would you like to add up the price? Welcome. And when we did this similar thing with TERA, we also allow one teacher as a supervisor, so they would earn a certificate and a plaque as well for the school. So with the school level, with those plaques and certificates, it would be quite motivating. But for undergrad, they don't need supervisors. So
Nathan, how do you monitor the amount of reading, the words read? They're all doing it on X reading or something? How do
yes,
you know how many words they've read?
yes, we
X
are doing
reading.
the Onyx reading. Yeah.
And there's no quizzing or anything. It's just
Sorry.
like for example, a student on X reading could just read a lot at a very, very high speed,
Yeah.
just kind of like flick through it and be eligible for the prize, right?
We
Or is
limit
there some kind of
we limit the number.
settings there? Sorry.
We limit the number of words per minute to 350.
I see. Okay.
And
You
they
don't
also
use quizzing or anything, do you?
and they need to do the quiz and pass the quiz as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Understood.
what the timing and also the quiz.
Otherwise, they could just flip
and
through
also
looking.
and also okay, Rob, Paul, enjoy your flight.
Dear Paul.
And also Paul, we also require, like I mentioned this, that all the members need to read at least 5,000 words. Otherwise, the whole team will not be qualified.
They get disqualified if one person reads under 5,000 words.
Right.
Wow. Peer pressure.
Right. So that there is a connection and then sharing, and then also we have a line group for them, because there are something that sometimes they skip pages or they don't know how to really use some of the functions. I ask them to discuss in the line group, because we want to build a reading community instead of us giving them prompt answer all the time. And I think that's also a really good way for them to get to really communicate outside of classroom and outside of the books. And we want to see more of those happen.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because then they're supporting each other
Right,
and monitoring each other. It's like sort of peer monitoring. Yeah, that's great.
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
You mentioned briefly, well, the difference about how you're teaching how to read for teachers learning how to teach how to read as opposed to
And
how to
teaching
teach
reading.
reading.
Mhm.
But you didn't really expand on that much.
Okay.
How do you
Yeah.
teach your students to be teachers who are teaching reading rather than how to read? What
Okay.
do you teach them?
All right. All right. This point is big. Okay. I need to go back to the traditional way or the style of teaching that we see most in our school and in most of the English classes in Thailand. Unfortunately, even though the policy says that we want to pursue communicative approach, we want our students to be able to communicate, but we have the national test. Okay, that's out of our control. Okay, what I hope I can do is that shifting from teaching with grammar and translation approach to communicative approach. And extensive reading can be a way of trying to make the students more communicative. Okay, so in answer to your question, teaching how to read and teaching reading, I need to tell you that when Noriko mentioned that the Japanese government award 2 books for your young learners, right? In Thailand, once you get to the school, I mean, differ school from school, but most of the school will assign you a reader. Okay, maybe 1 book per semester per term, but the book does not always resemble your like or your proficiency. So what happened is that they open the books and they translate word by word, verbatim. So that way they are learning how to read, not learning reading. But the intention of giving them a book is to give them something that they will enjoy. But now a whole book is a punishment for most of the Thai students. Yeah. If you give them a book and you ask them to finish reading a book, that's a punishment. Because most of the time those books are too hard for them to understand. It takes forever to finish. Okay, so I think you have already seen one of the ways, or 2 of the ways that I try to shift from teaching how to read to teaching reading by, turning it into something more simple, something that they can truly understand. The same scientific or medical text from the book, way too hard for the student, even though they come from, quite a good, a quite good student in the class, but it's still too hard. It doesn't make sense to them. So you simplify whatever they need to read, because people don't enjoy things they don't understand. And then along the way, of course, the student of mine, the pre-service teacher, put on Kahoot or games or things like that, so that she can also teach the vocabulary, the structures, or whatever that needs to be taught, but in a different way, in a more simplified way. And for the other one, vocabulary, yes, and then short talks or institutional languages they need to memorize or they need to learn. If you just give them and try to make them memorize, then your best chance is that the next class they would forget. But once it's turned into board game, something that they already do outside the classroom, put it into what they already do, but integrate the content that they need to know, they need to learn. Then those are two of the ways that I think have helped changing from teaching how to read to teaching reading in different contexts.
So basically, the new teachers that you're training will go into schools and they will then try and create a board game for students to play to encourage the students to read. That's what you're saying.
Yes, one of them, the example that I gave you, already did it with and with the data collected and everything, with research informed, and it works. And some other cases that I have seen is that they turn those language or words or phrases into songs, AI assisted created into songs. and extensive singing. I don't know if that exists, but since Thai people don't like to read, get them to sing and they enjoy it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is. So, so the English education in Thai starts at which age from junior high school?
Um, I think the grade one start from age. Okay, I have a lot of Thai friends in here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they start to go to school, kindergarten, I mean preschool, as young as 2.5 years. And that's when they already start learning English. But for grade one, I think it's more likely like 5 years old.
Oh, okay. So it starts from the very beginning of their education.
Right, and it's very interesting that you asked this question, because those undergrad students in my language and cultures for teacher class, I sometimes I open my question to the class of how many years have they learned English, and how many years did it take for them to be able to speak the Thai language. The maximum is 2 years, so they would have already studied English for like 15 years before they are in my class. Because comparing to how well they speak their L1, their mother tongue Thai language, 15 years of English, the class should be interactive in a foreign language, in English already. But that sadly that's not the case.
Hmm. What is the average kind of like general English level of Thai people, like in general?
Oh, I don't think I have the answer to this question, but not the level that is considered communicative. Okay, if you walk into my university, maybe it depends on the situation as well. Sometimes where they're put into this situation that they need to communicate. Of course, 15 years of studying English, they have a lot of inputs. The thing is that they don't really get to practice. They don't really get to use those input that they have learned. So if you look at PISA or like international tests, you would see that the English proficiency of Thai students in general is not satisfying.
Sounds very similar to Japan.
Yeah. Japan's like A1, A2, B1 if they're good at English, I guess.
And the national policy requires that the undergrad student graduate with B1 or B2 level. Very ambitious, very ambitious. Even the teachers, I don't think even English teacher, I mean, not all of them, but in average, I don't think even in average the English teacher of the whole country reach B1 already.
And the comment that Chris has made in the comments there, saying that 15 years of extensive reading would make a huge difference. Yes, it would.
Right? I mean,
Start them young.
five
Start them early.
million, a million word a year from just one teacher. Imagine everyone is doing it.
So the pre-service teachers at your university, do they teach elementary schools or junior high schools or high schools or university?
For their practicum, for their teaching training, mostly junior and senior high school. But after graduation, it depends. It depends on where they get hired, where they get the job. So it could be younger learners or high schoolers.
Oh, so does that mean that once a student finishes preschool teaching course in university, they can teach at any level?
They can teach at any level, yes.
Oh, okay. So that's different from Japan, because in Japan, you have to go to those specific universities to be able to teach elementary schools.
Mm-hmm.
And
We
for
have, yeah. I'm sorry.
and for junior high and high school, you can go to any university.
Okay, we have another specialization or major for teachers, for early childhood teachers.
Mm.
I mean, they would learn how to teach younger learners, but they teach all the courses. But for me, I'm responsible for English language teaching.
Mm.
They graduate and then they can teach all the levels. But mostly the younger ones will be responsible by the teachers who graduate with early childhood, which
Mm.
are not necessarily um, fluent or good at teaching English.
That's true. That's probably the same situation in Japan.
It is.
Right. Okay. Any other questions from the audiences? Many of the people are quiet and I'm asking a lot. Um, any questions or any comments?
Oh, I was interested to hear that you use Line. I didn't realize that Line was the go-to app for messaging in Thailand. So is that
It
common?
is. It is. It is like
Okay.
the most famous application. Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right, audience, show some love. Come on.
Here we go. Patrick, how much reading on a per student basis?
Um, 20,000 words as a outside of classroom reading. Yeah, for most of the non-major. For the English major, I also asked them to read at least 20,000, but most of them reach 50, 60,000. Yeah, very, very good on that. And also the 100,000 words ambitious goal that two of the student can achieve. They are non-English major.
Mm.
So if they can do it, I mean, if they're motivated enough, then any other students of any specialization can do it as well.
Mm.
Have you had any of your teacher trainees be converted to extensive reading who they might in their future try to do extensive reading with their classes when they become teachers?
I hope so. I mean, I have introduced extensive reading indirectly for the past 4 years. This year, this coming semester will be the very first time that I will be teaching. The course is called Teaching Extensive Reading in English. So
Ah,
hopefully,
nice.
all of them will get an idea on how to teach reading and how to integrate extensive reading into their classes after their graduation.
That's wonderful.
It is. It is. All right. So we've been asking Nathan to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm
It's
surprised. There's a lot of shouting. That's great.
Yes, you've been actually answering questions more longer than you've been making the presentation.
That's
Um, so any other comments or any other questions before we turn off the recording?
You can still talk after recording. That's what I've been
Yes.
told.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, can I
Sure,
ask something? Hello,
sure, of
I'm Eski
course.
from Indonesia, sir. Thank you for saying. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry because I was late. So in the middle of, so actually after the presentation, I just came and listened to question and answer section. So I'm really sorry I didn't get the whole idea of the presentation, but I just wondering if there any kind of, because I hear that the extensive reading that that you are already conducting is so successfully, all the students have read a certain amount of reading goal. But on the other hand, is there any kind of like group who failed to reach a certain amount that specific goal? Or is there any student who are just left without any particular reason why? And I just wanted to hear some of this reason why is that happen if you know some of their story. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, very interesting question that I have not shared. Yes, there were or there are some of the students who did not read at all or who gave up midway. For the readers in my class, they mention. I mean, I collected like comments halfway and at the end of the course as well. How they felt about doing extensive reading. Most of them would say that because they didn't read from the beginning, they try to cram it toward the end, and toward the end of the course, it's also the final examination approaching. So they could not really cope with both reading and achieving the goal and preparing for the exam as well. So I think this reflects back on the weekly thing that I try to do, or you know, something that will keep them doing bit by bit rather than cramming it at the end. And this is one of the most outstanding reason that most of the students did not achieve the goal. But along the way, there were also some students that mentioned that all the books that were available online were still too hard for them to read. So my way out was that I have a lot of children books, physical books at my office, and I allow them to read the books. And with the books that are made as graded readers, you know, the books already display the number of words. And with the weekly reflection, they can keep up with the number of words they read each book and each week. And so even though the program was set to be online, but if the books don't really, you know, go with their likes or their proficiency, then I combine a physical book sometimes, and that helps. And some of the students who did not have problem with the online readers also asked if they could read physical books, and actually a few of them read, like, you know, thick novels because they have read everything that they like online. So yes, there are a few a few issues that could draw back their reading. So I think it's the gist of extensive reading. We try to tailor the readers and the reading to all of them. Okay, and also I think some of the ERF committee are sharing other sources of the readers. Okay. Yeah, ERI.app. Okay. Do you want to talk about it, Marc?
I can do.
Please.
Sorry, my room is a bit of a mess. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Deathly wall of silence.
Good evening, Mr.
Good
Riley.
evening.
Thank you.
We'd like
Yeah.
to hear about your ERI.
I've got it's an app that's designed for reading, and it uses AI to generate stories that will hopefully be at the right level and the right topic. I can give you a demonstration. Do you want a demonstration? You want a demonstration? Shall I share my screen?
Please. Am I sharing my screen?
Don't know.
No.
Maybe.
You're fine. Hang on a sec. Just Marc, I'll just make you co-host just so you can make sure everything's tickety-boo.
What is it again, Marc, that you are?
So it's called ERI, which is the Japanese word for great.
Okay.
But it's also ER and AI. So it looks something like this. I'll just give you a very quick and you can join with Google. Please feel free to let your students do this. And so you get, when you get kind of a bookshelf. So there are various books that have already been written. And you can go and read these. It's a normal my tracking is off because I don't want to mess the system. So it gives you a chapter. You can read the next page. You can if you try and go too quickly, it sometimes gets upset and tells you that you're reading too quickly and that you need to slow down and read it properly. And you can also kind of stop reading because it's too difficult or too easy or not interesting, or just because you need a break, or you can go back to the story. So you go through and read through, and depending on, we're collecting data on this to try and make better stories, and to try and work out when, what's causing them to, like, ideally we want people to, if they're reading each page at a kind of constant speed, and then they're going to the next page and reading that at a constant speed, then that's kind of good news. If they're reading a page very, very slowly or relatively slowly, then there's probably something wrong on that page. And if they're reading it very quickly, then they're not reading it. And if they keep reading, then we know that what we want, as we know with extensive reading, we want them to keep reading constant speed and get through to the end. So that's the reading part of it. There's also a building part, so the students can also build their own story. There's like there's a bot, and it says, yes, help me build a story, and you can write. So to start with, what kind of story do you enjoy? So you start off giving it a genre. For example,
sci-fi.
So you like, sounds like sci-fi. Sounds like sci-fi. Sounds like sci-fi. So we can do like an exploration of an unknown planet or galaxy, artificial intelligence gaining consciousness, time travel with consequences on history, a civilization struggling to survive in a dystopian future, or genetic engineering and what it means to be human, or something else.
Number five.
Number five. It then goes and so then it says, then it decides who's the main character. So the main character is a geneticist who questions the ethics of their own creations, a genetically modified human struggling to find their place, a corporate spy trying to steal DNA secrets from rivals, a rebel fighting against genetic enhancements forced on society, or a government agent containing a genetic outbreak or bio threat.
Yes, number five.
Number five. So yeah, so it's also possible to put in. You can make your own. You can put in your own ideas. So this sounds good. What's the gender and age group of the protagonist?
Nathan, come on. What would you like to read?
We've got a government agent containing a genetic outbreak, bio threat.
DNA, number 3.
Oh, you want DNA? Oh, hang on.
Yeah. The DNA secrets.
Oh, sorry. Too slow. We chose 5.
Oh, sorry.
Can we chat? Well, let's just see if we can change. Can we change to 3? The spy trying to steal.
So basically, the website.
What kind of what gender do you want?
I don't mind.
Okay. I do. So you do.
So basically, you.
So we're going to spy. What gender, age group? You choose.
So using AI to build your own story.
So they've chosen a young adult non-binary spy who brings a fresh and dynamic perspective to the story. Now, what kind of goal or challenge does the character face? So are they racing against time to steal a breakthrough DNA map before rivals use it for harmful purposes, or wrestling with moral doubts about betraying friends and the company they work for, or trying to protect someone genetically modified who's in danger because of the stolen secret?
Oh, yes, that one. Number 3.
You like number 3?
Yes.
Number 3. So yeah, cool. So it'll then it's got the this is the plan. It's science fiction, genetic engineering, what it means to be human. A corporate spy, young adult, non-binary, is trying to protect someone genetically modified who's in danger because of the stolen secret.
Can you determine number of words for the story?
It'll be the length it comes out, and depending on the level, it will. If it's easier stories tend to be shorter, but there's a kind of plot. It'll come up with a plot, and what it does is it first makes the first kind of 5 chapters, and then if you read the first 5 chapters, it'll then go on to make the rest of the story. So it's kind of saving Saving, yes. So we say go,
Yes.
and it'll then go and make that. It'll run along and make that, maybe. Oh, so no, wait, it's got there's three so these are the story prompts. So there's three choices there of the kind of setup. In the neon-lit corporate towers of a sprawling futuristic city, a young non-binary spy steals a priceless piece of DNA information. When their target, a genetically modified refugee, becomes hunted by powerful interests who want the secret, the spy must protect them. But their mission forces them to question loyalties and identity. Blah, blah, blah.
That sounds
The
good.
spy, number one sounds
Go
good.
for number one.
Go for number one.
Neon, yes.
It's got neon. It must be good. So that's going to go under it. So we just say go, and it'll then build a story. And it's possible. One thing is that the text of this can sometimes be at a higher level.
Yes.
So within this process, you can ask it to make it easier. You could also, for example, ask it to if students, Japanese students, can say, "Can you do this in Japanese?" And it'll do the dialogue in and probably Thai as well. I don't know how good its Thai is. Yeah. So the language will adapt to the reading level of the learner, and the story will So it will at the moment I can make this as a complete beginner story, and then it'll keep the level down, because the challenge is always getting easy. It's a lot more difficult to write easy stuff, and it's really important, I think, to make it easy. So it'll take a couple of minutes to make this story. Yes. So please use it if you can use. It's kind of fun. It's a good thing. It's fun doing this with the class, because you can get the class to kind of interact and come up with ideas.
Yeah. Thanks, Marc.
Yeah, and yeah, for yes.
So yes, you say here that it might be interesting for a writing class, but actually it is the reading that it is generating the story.
Yeah.
There we go.
So there go. So that's the this is the story. Light and life secret. Mika walks in the city at night. The city has many bright lights. Mika holds a small bag close. Mika moves near a big company building. Mika hears a low car sound. Mika looks at a door in the wall. Mika feels cold and alone. Mika needs one thing tonight. Mika wants the life information.
Oh.
Lyra said, "You must choose." Lyra stands by a lamp. Lyra shows a small card. Lyra looks at Mika with care. Lyra has work for Mika. Mika is very heavily into using the name as the subject. Mika opens the bag with slow hands. Mika takes a small tool out. Mika puts the tool on the door. Mika waits for a quiet time. Mika thinks of no home and no friend. Mika will do the job for pay. Mika must be fast and soft. Mika wants only the life information. Ooh. Adi, another character.
Oh, but we do have the door, so.
The door. The door a character. Oh, the door opens. Yeah.
Where is the DNA part?
The DNA is the life information. I think that's the DNA.
This is absolute beginner or very low level.
It's gone very, very low level. So I think DNA is probably like about, I don't know, is that A2 or B1? Probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Can you put the word count, like once the story is generated, is word count available for the story?
Yeah, so you get when you've got your reading data, it'll show you how much you've read and show you what level you're at. And if you've got, and I've got admin, so I can see the users, so I can see. Oh, that's some Tomiseki. That's just so people have just, so I can see. This is secret information.
Well, this is going up on YouTube, so you should
But
probably
you can
not
see
be
it.
showing it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are we still on the recording?
Yes.
Well, it should be. It's
Oh.
on recording. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we
are
should,
recording
yeah.
still. Perhaps this might be a good point to finish the recording and we can
Yeah.
keep talking. So, everyone, thank you to Nathan.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right.